I'm a little confused by that. He put out a thing on Instagram. If you follow him on Instagram, he posted a 10-minute video where he was talking about all the...
Well, there's your problem. Probably could have made it like a 2-minute video.
Edit it.
Just make it a little bit shorter, bud.
Well, he's used to doing 3 hours at a clip. 10 minutes is just a little dip in. But in the wake of this Neil Young thing, and it is funny, all of the... I mean... With all due respect, there are no current artists that are like, pull me off Spotify. I will not stand for this. It's Neil Young and Joni Mitchell and Barry Manilow, people who made their money a long time ago, who have a nice, they're not risking anything really. But people obviously are placing Joe Rogan at the center of this, and it's Neil Young's kind of him or me thing. And again, nobody is saying take Joe Rogan off that platform. I don't think anyone was saying that. They were just saying him or me. That was very specifically what Neil Young was saying, and he was under no illusion that they were going to choose Joe Rogan. Of course they're going to choose him.
So are you suggesting that there's people that are manipulating what is happening in order to get some other point across?
That's not even what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, for people who speak extemporaneously, like Joe Rogan does, like we do, if you have, and again, full disclosure, I have listened to maybe half of an episode of the Joe Rogan Show, but I have nothing against him personally.
So you put in your 10,000 hours.
Yeah, you know it.
I think that there are, if you're going to have a lot of different people on, you're not going to fact check them on the spot. People dunk on Joe Rogan when his producer will fact check him on the spot, and he kind of looks, he's kind of off his bearings or whatever. It seems ridiculous to me that anybody would go, well, this guy said this, and he's talking to this doctor, and it's like, well, but he's not a doctor. And anyway.
The best clip is where he's trying to get Bill Burr to talk about the vaccine or anything to have to do with mandates when it comes to coronavirus, and Bill Burr's just like, listen, I'm not going to sit here not having a medical degree and you not having a medical degree and say what I think is right in the situation. And you see the way Joe Rogan's trying to goad him into saying something, and like that's his bread and butter. Like Joe Rogan knows how to get people's attention, and it's by being controversial. It's like you don't go viral for being funny, you go viral for making half the country mad.
Right.
And he knows
if you're
that.
A baseball player, you don't get off the island by bunting. So, but that's what he's being paid to do too. But again, I'll play a little clip. He did a 10-minute statement,
Neil Young has removed his music from the platform of Spotify, and Joni Mitchell and apparently some other people want to as well. I'm very sorry that they feel that way. I most certainly don't want that. One of the things that Spotify wants to do that I agree with is that at the beginning of these controversial podcasts, like specifically ones about COVID, is to put a disclaimer and say that you should speak with your physician and that these people and the opinions that they express are contrary to the opinions of the consensus of experts.
Right. I don't know why anybody would disagree with that other than it's ridiculous, but, I guess he's meeting them somewhere in the middle on this. But if you're listening to any podcast that is not of a medical nature, and they put a disclaimer on, and I realize I'm probably the 4,000th person to say this, but if they put a disclaimer at the front of your show that says, every comment made here, you're going to want to check and make sure with your own physician, like, you should already know that. So it just seems like they're putting a lot of... I think it's easy to conflate the size of an audience with the size of a person's influence. You can have a huge, not that they're not connected, but they're not always in line with one another. You can have a huge audience, which by any measure he does, and God bless him. We'd all kill for that audience. But it doesn't mean that every person's... Huh?
How many people would you kill for that audience?
I would kill...
And who?
I wouldn't kill anyone for that audience.
Going back on his word.
Okay.
Disclaimer on this one about how...
Not trying to be controversial or anything, but... Yeah, so Joe Rogan's like, look, I'm not, I've been doing this a long time, and I thought it'd be fun to talk to some people, and I think there's a lot of legitimate dunks on Joe Rogan, and he seems to be willing to be like, yeah, I shouldn't say willing. They can make him. You got to put a disclaimer on the front of the show. But
he's got the opposite problem we do. We have a very small audience, huge influence. Anything we say, it's just like, wow.
Anything we say, all 5 of our listeners will march right out,
do all of it,
replicate all of it. So we've got to be careful. But yeah, it's I don't know. Listen, any idea that any of us hold, you, me, whoever, could be considered divisive. That's the big thing now. He's divisive, or these ideas or whatever. But, if you believe in free expression, and you absolutely should, then fundamentally that means that you have the right to say things that are offensive. And so, I don't know. I'm not sure why he needed 10 minutes, but clearly he needed to get a lot off his chest.
Not a short-winded guy.
But he is short.
And
Don't take that away from
winded,
him.
actually.
He's working on that.
They always say the best solution. Well, they don't always say. I think wise people say the best solution to misinformation is more information. But people can't even agree on what misinformation is. So I think people are ascribing this nefarious nature to Joe Rogan that's just not there. And we've talked about this back and forth, too, where you'll have people who do politically oriented shows. And when somebody nails them on something, they go, hey, I'm just an entertainer.
Right.
But then if they want to flex whatever political muscle they've got, boy, they will. So you can't, I'm not saying he's doing that, but there are people who do that. You can't have it both ways. You either are an entertainer. I mean, to the day he drew his last breath, I'm sure Rush Limbaugh considered himself just an entertainer. Why would anybody listen to me?
Just some guy.
Why, And again, you can't be held responsible for what people in your audience do.
That's what Trump says.
Well, no, but he's telling them what to do. That's different.
He was also the president,
If you're
not an entertainer.
If you're telling
But
people
he was
what
an
to do
entertainer
and
at
they
one
do
point.
it, then at least you're an accessory. But if you are just discussing some things and people go, hey, however, some dim-witted individual synthesizes that information, that's a whole other thing. But, and I know the Rogan thing has been talked to death, but I was listening to some of it and I was like, I'm really surprised that has become the focal point of this conversation. Because he had a couple, and he alludes to it in the message, that it really is focused on a couple of shows he did with a couple of doctors. Way into the pandemic, by the way.
Do you think there's a chance that we could get Dr. Berglund on the show once we're in the new studios and we could get some sort of controversial opinion that he says and we can manipulate that into to people being like, I don't want him to be on iHeartRadio anymore.
Like always get checked if there's blood in your pee or whatever. How
And
controversial.
then I'll be like, I don't think you should.
Yeah.
Just pee the blood.
Bill's taking
It's
the
going
contrarian
in the toilet.
view. Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's not going to harm the fish.
Day 5 of P-Gate at iHeartMedia Cleveland. No, his Dr. Berglund's credibility is hard won. And I'm not going to do anything to mess with that.
I mean, again, we don't have to mess with his credibility. We just have to have that opinion where
We just have to get
fires people up.
Yeah, just to doubt science.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we need to do.
Seems a lot of people don't need help in that department right now.
That's what you think.
What I do like is local television stations. I don't know if they have them here in Cleveland, but probably if you were to scan the local affiliates. They're always working for you.
Mm-hmm.
We're working for you. We've got a team that's out there for you.
Well, in that case, then they should be elected officials.
Right.
I want to vote for my news anchor.
Right. The people we have elected, not so much. This woman, because of a typo, all of her bank accounts were drained because of a typo. Now, again, anybody can make a mistake. I don't quite know how you make that kind of typo, but she was trying to pay a bill for $430, and she ended up paying $43,000. She somehow added 2 zeros to the typo, and the automatic with, like automatic whatchamacallit kicked in, overdraft protection.
Yeah.
And it emptied the accounts. So she had nothing. Well, anyway, this is in Tampa, speaking of Tom Brady. And the local NBC affiliate has a reporter named Shannon Benkin. And they have a segment called Better Call Benkin. Because, sure, you can call and complain all you want. But it's not until a reporter gets on the phone. And they always show him, they always film him allegedly talking to a customer service representative on this person's behalf. That's all it took. When in reality, the person there is like, I'm in a call. I'm in Dubuque. I don't care who you are. I don't know anything about
Make
Tampa.
$8 an hour.
Hey, I don't care. But she got it done.
Went wrong, right. Better Call Bacon is on your side.
A simple typo while paying a bill online cost a Pinellas Park couple $43,000.
Yeah, when you add an extra zero by mistake, bad things happen, starting with a bank overdraft. That drained this couple's savings account, and correcting the mistake was even more draining.
Extra 2 zeros is what I don't get. Extra 2 zeros.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Sometimes there's the 00 button. So if it's a 430 and then 0.00, but they didn't know that the 00 was already there and they hit it anyway.
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. But still, I would be.
This is an old couple, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
That's
I would be real careful if I was typing numbers for bills to not hit the 00. Is there still a 00 button?
Well, on cash, when I worked at American Eagle, we had a 00 button on our cash register.
Oh.
I don't think they're paying from a cash register.
No,
she was probably on a computer.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Well, this is why.
That's when they knew they'd better call banking.
What's that?
This is why your grandma does everything the old-fashioned way. She won't pay a bill online at all because she knows she's gonna mess it up if she uses online stuff.
She writes in her ledger.
So she'll write it in her ledger.
My boyfriend does
She
this.
writes everything. Is your boyfriend also?
He's 100. He's 35,
70s?
and he refuses to pay bills online. He waits for the paper statement to come to his house, and then, he'll pay it online, but he waits for the paper statement, and he'll either call it over the phone or go to the website, make sure he types in, writes the confirmation number on the paper
There's
statement.
nothing
But he
wrong
still
with.
goes to the website.
But there's
so
nothing wrong with being diligent.
He won't let it. Okay, let me rephrase. Not that he won't pay it online. He won't do the automatic bill
Auto
draft.
pay. Yeah.
He waits for it to come, gets his confirmation number, has a stack of bills that are all, this one was paid on this date with this confirmation. I was like, who do you think is ripping
as
you
long
off?
as the bills get paid. Listen, all I know is that years ago, my dad wouldn't be caught dead buying anything online. He's like, I don't want him having my. I go, Dad, you've used ATMs before. Everybody has everyone's information now. Now, when it's my dad turned 77 on Friday. Anytime it's a gift-giving occasion, all he wants are Amazon gift cards. All he wants. So he's come around. But I don't see any problem with somebody doing it that way. I just can't believe paper statements are still going out.
That's what I said. This is so annoying.
I've canceled every paper statement there is, but a couple of my credit cards, for Christ's sake, they
hang on.
insist on send. I'm like,
they charge you
how
more.
many times can I tell you guys, paperless? They still send them out. I don't even open them. Tear them up, throw them away.
He gets all paranoid, though. We were sitting there. I guess he had switched his mortgage to be automatic bank draft.
Is there precedent? Was he burned in some situation before, or he's just being extra
he's just
cautious?
he is
He
a
just likes to
freak
be in
about
control
money.
of his money.
He's just
I
a
mean,
freak
so do
about
I,
money.
but,
And
yeah,
so New Year's Day, which is one, a holiday, two, a Saturday this year, his mortgage hadn't come out of his bank account yet, and he
Yep.
was flipping out
Yep.
because he's like, I'm going to be late, and if I default on my loan, and da-da-da-da. I was like, okay, you need to take a breath.
There is a
Because
grace period.
I was like, there's a grace period. They're not going to throw you out of your house on January 2nd.
Are you sure you want to move in with this guy that isn't
Sir.
paying his loan?
Right. But I was like, it is a Saturday. It is a national holiday. Give it a couple days and be fine. And he was like, this is why I wait for paper statement. Like, it was because
That's the sound of the police.
They're there to evict him.
it didn't post to his account until Monday. So I was like, oh, you mean like the next business day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, this is why I get paper statements, because then I have my confirmation number and I have this. And I was like, all right, old man, you do what you need to do.
I like this
I-
guy a
I
lot.
don't- I don't think
I
I've
really
ever-
like
So
him.
finicky.
You know, as concerned as Mary seems to be about tone, your mocking tone for the way your boyfriend handles his business seems to be
It is a deserved
little less than
mocking
supportive.
tone. It is not supportive. It was a Saturday and the first of the year.
But he's doing it the
Chill.
way he wants to do it.
Chill.
Alan, I think you're forgetting something. It's okay when Mary does.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I see.
Well, she's giving him the business, so therefore she can mock
it's
his
different.
business.
We're not coworkers.
Well, Better Call Benkin got to the bottom of this thing down there in Tampa.
I wish he was doing think pieces.
This started with an online bill payment with an extra zero. Then it turned into a nightmare.
And I said, but I can't even go to the store. I can't buy milk. I can't pay for my husband's medication.
With one mistaken keystroke, Darlene Gwynn and her husband were left with 37 cents in their checking account.
I feel violated. I do. I feel like a thief came into my home and stole my money.
But they didn't!
It sounds like you feel like
This
a
was you!
Yeah, this is them just feeling like a millennial. Having 37 cents in your checking account.
How do you like it?
Yeah, this is just how
Which
people have
means
been
they had-
surviving
You're so
for a
rude.
while.
How do you like?
Which means they had $43,000 in their checking
And 37
account.
cents.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Used their Bank of America checking account to pay their Bank of America credit card bill. And instead of $430, they accidentally paid $43,000. That kicked in overdraft protection.
Oh, that's the extra zero because of the decimal. Oh,
That's
I
what I
see.
meant, yeah.
That's what you meant. The
Yeah,
double
that's what
zero
I was
key.
getting at, yeah.
I see. Well, yeah, then be extra careful. Double check it.
And their savings account was drained.
They have our savings. They have all of our money in checking. They have our Social Security checks for this month. I mean, everything. And
didn't you tell me that you caught this like within an hour?
yes.
So you
Yeah.
called them and said, please stop the transaction.
Yeah, please cancel it. And they said, we can't.
Darlene says
I don't know if they just moved into this house or what, but it's so echoey because there's literally 2 chairs in this living room that they're talking there. There's nothing in this house.
They came and took their old house.
That just
Spend
can't
all
be
our
right,
money.
though.
Stuff.
Isn't it when you have a transaction that big, it has to go through, like, you can't just write a check for $43,000.
But it can hold it.
Well, no, what happened was their overdraft protection kicked in. So since they didn't have enough money that they were writing the check for, it pulled it from all their other accounts. And so it drained those accounts to pay for what the bank thought was a $43,000 credit card bill. Yeah. Sometimes, depending on what bank you're with, you'll get that text that'll go, hey, did you mean to do this? Before they process anything. I've had that happen. My bank is like Johnny on the spot. Like, if I'm spending a lot of money in one day in a couple of different places, they'll be like, hey,
Who's this?
Yeah,
Right,
who
what are you
dis?
doing?
Is this you? Yeah.
My bank, I think, may be homophobic because every time I'm in the gay store spending some stuff, it's like, bring, hello, Mr. Brown. Yes. Did you buy poppers and...
You don't get the itemized list.
Yes, they did.
This guy, you're making all this up. My bank is homophobic.
It's always when I'm at like a little store that I don't want anybody to know. Did you pay $13.99 for
Then why don't you
OnlyFans?
pay in cash?
For OnlyFans?
You said I'm in a store I don't want people to know.
Well, I didn't have
They
cash at
call
the
you
time.
for OnlyFans.
They have called me for OnlyFans, yeah, because I thought it was...
How much goddamn money you spend on OnlyFans that triggers a call from your bank?
I downloaded the video and I was trying to get it.
But they're
know
like
if it's
$5 a
necessarily-
pop. Aren't things on OnlyFans like $5 a pop?
I don't know if it's how much money he's spending or the percentage that he's spending to what he has.
Oh, I see.
When it's like
Relative to
80%
his-
of your income is going to OnlyFans.
Do you eat, sir?
I'm black and I'm gay.
she was told the money would be back the next day after an investigation.
And then the next time it was 2 to 5 days that it would take, but that's long past. Then the last person was like, it takes however long it takes, and you can't get it till we're done. And so that was it.
Well, we'll see about that. Hi, Christina. This
See, this is what I love.
Not when Binkin's on the
That's
case.
right. When
God.
it kicks in and she gets on the phone, we'll just see about that. Be great to get her on film there, being able to do nothing. So, I wasn't able to.
I didn't get anything done. I'm
sorry.
Oh, sorry.
This is Shannon Bankin at News Channel 8. This couple, they don't have any money to even go to the store and get milk. It doesn't seem right that the bank knows about this mistake because they found out about it within an hour of making the mistake, and they still don't have their money. I was told this would be researched immediately.
I've worked my whole life. I started working at 12.
Yeah.
And I'm 71 and I'm still working. And I don't have $1 in cash that I can go to the store and just buy something.
Well, you should have planned for it.
Well,
you
I'm
should have
happy
pulled
to
yourself
report
up by
that
your
Darlene tells
bootstraps.
me every penny has been put back now. She says she plans to spend this weekend restocking her pantry, maybe going out to eat to celebrate.
Yeah, good.
To celebrate what? Hey,
Money.
we got
Having
our
milk.
own money back. Yay!
And now they could buy milk, which
They
they
were
need.
very
They
concerned.
need milk. Milk is so important.
Well, it does a body good. Why is milk a staple?
It's not.
Anytime there's a storm, stores are sold out of staples: milk, eggs, bread.
Well, I think because you can do a lot with those three things, namely French toast,
Well, with those three things specifically, but
Yes.
why is milk a staple?
cereal, babies.
Is it in case? No, I'm thinking of more logistically. Baby's okay, but is it because like if a huge storm comes through and your water pipes break, or why is milk a staple?
I think just people are so used to drinking it, like old people, that's what they drink. They don't think to go get water. They think to
Hurricane
go get
Velma
milk.
is coming through, so stock up, oldsters, on milk and Zwieback toast.
Yeah, I buy milk about once a year. I'm not a milk person.
I buy milk if I know I'm going to buy cereal. Those are the only time. That's the only time
and
I buy
I have
it. Yeah.
cereal about like once a year. Like
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of cereal. I don't eat a lot of milk. Like I have half and half to put in my coffee, but that's about all.
Yeah.
Alan,
Even that I forget about.
$43,000 is not a lot of savings for being 71. I'm 28, and that's what's in my savings account.
Oh boy.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, but listen, she's 71. That's what she had. That's why
what
she's
she had.
freaking out.
Yeah.
That's what she and her husband have. I got a break. You want to get a text in? 35192. If you're on hold, I'll grab you on the way back. I will have Under Oath tickets for you. Want to go see Under Oath? They are back on the road this spring. They're going to play the Agora March the 12th. So if you're a fan of that band, I'll get you a pair of tickets after this break. And then 5:30, next chance for you to go fund yourself and win $1,000.